wanted to get this shared out, and then once I jump in the car, I'll get back on.
Well, all right, and hopefully he'll be non-delayed.
Perfect.
Okay, I don't know where we go because we got a delay here, but okay, we'll go.
All right. Anyway.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Women's
How
hockey.
bad is the delay?
It's a little rough.
They're killing it.
About 5 seconds.
They killed Canada. Huh? Is it about a 5-second delay?
Yeah.
All right. Back now. Are we back?
Okay. While he goes out, I'll talk a little bit.
No, yes, no.
Yeah, I got you now. I got you. But I thought there was a delay there.
All right. Still bad delay, or we I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. It figures that it's the first time I've been running the show in a minute, and now it's all screwed up.
Well, I'm just glad it's not me that's messing it up. Usually I'm the one that messes up, so I'm glad it's somebody else's turn this time.
All right. Well, we're doing all right. So, anyways, yes, Team USA women's hockey. So here are the scores of their first 4 games in their division: 5-1, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. 20 goals to 1 goal. They gave Canada their first shutouts in 7 years, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah. So what do you think about them going forward? I know Bo mentioned that up, I think, until they played Canada, that it was a little bit of a soft schedule. But how do you think they're going to fare once they get out of the category they're in and start playing other categories? How do you see the women's hockey faring?
I see gold. Anything less than gold is probably underachieving. That the only team that's going to pose any bit of an issue for them, I think, is going to be Sweden, who is in Conference B or whatever that is. And Sweden's actually got a really good female team. But at the moment, it's going to be Teams USA's to lose.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said,
100%.
5-0, 5-0, 5-0 in their last 3 games. 5-1 in the first game. So it's literally 20 goals. They've scored 20 goals and let up 1.
Damn it. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I guess it shows that the defense and the offense are kicking ass. But again, outside of Canada, now what was the score against Canada? Was that the 5-1 or the 5-0?
5-0. That was yesterday. 5-0.
Yeah, because I didn't get to watch that one. Okay, and Canada, we all know Canada always puts out a pretty good hockey product. Now with Sweden, I have not followed Sweden in the women's hockey. How has their play been? Have they been as dominant or close to being as dominant as what the women's U.S. team?
I haven't seen much about that group yet. I thought that Sweden, they just keep talking about how Sweden's going to be the tough matchup. I haven't seen anything. As I'm looking for it now, it's really even hard to find anything about it, because everything that we see, all the news we see, is all U.S. related. So trying to talk about Sweden and find out where they're at in their group standings isn't the easiest to try to figure out.
Yeah. But I do think, just about the medal tracker. I was looking at the medal tracker for the U.S. versus everybody else. It looks like Norway right now is at 13. Italy is at 11. And the U.S. is at 10. So, I mean, honestly, the U.S. is actually doing pretty good right now in the Winter Olympics.
Right. And Norway is winning a lot of the gold medals of biathlons, where you are doing the cross-country skiing and shooting. That's what they do in Norway. That's how they
Right.
live. So that's why they win lots of those gold medals. Yeah.
Right.
The ski jump was doing a lot that and the Teams USA was not um doing well in the ski jump. I guess they didn't shoot up their ball sacks enough, with all that stuff. Uh it's kind of odd. But so I mean, in the gold medal category, Norway has won 7. The Swiss have won 4, and USA has won 3. Germany's won 3. Sweden's won 3. Austria, France, Italy, Japan all have won 2. And you think about Japan in like winter sports, and you don't really think of them that much, but they are very big on that speed skating.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
where they do. That's where they do their best. So,
And I'm surprised that Japan, I mean, look, they got snow, they got all the things that we have, or everybody else has. They got mountains. I mean, they got plenty of things they can do. Like you said, they can make arenas. I'm surprised should be just as much in there as anybody else should be. I don't know where China's at. China only has 2 medals. I expected more out of China, to be honest with you. They are very competitive in the Olympics.
China is I always think of them being more summer Olympics rather than winter Olympics.
Yeah.
It's like the Chinese hockey team. Yeah, I don't even know much about that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like you don't expect China to do a lot. I actually expect more on the Russian side, but obviously Russia's not allowed to be in. They're still in that banned portion. But I mean, it's like all of these different teams. You never hear about Australia winning a lot of medals in the Winter Olympics. There's a reason for that, because they don't have ice. It's hot in Australia all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? What about Poland? Now, Poland usually puts out a pretty decent hockey team. I've seen a couple of them where they've been kind of competitive. Poland's usually one. I think Czech Republic is usually one.
Well, the Czech Republic is good. Normally they usually have. Well, you think about it, like places where the mountains are. Austria. Like in Austria, they have the mountain range. Poland doesn't really have it, although Poland gets cold and they do have some stuff. You'll see Poland do better in the single hand things. I find that like team sports in Poland aren't as sophisticated as it would be in the US or anything like that. So those are the things that make a difference.
Is there any team in the standings right now that has surprised you or disappointed you in terms of their performance so far?
So I haven't been following it enough. Now that football is over, I can now start to pay attention some and get to spend more of my time watching Team USA do their thing and such. But they only do show the events that Team USA does well in. You don't really watch much of that unless you're watching the Olympic, station. You know what I mean? And we don't watch that at the bar. So, yes, Italy has 11 medals, but they had 11 medals yesterday, so they didn't win any medals yesterday. So they gotta figure that out. They gotta step up the pace a little bit. But like I said, it depends on what they're winning it for. Obviously, like Switzerland, they've got 4 gold medals, but only 7 medals in total. And the other big story
Yeah.
from the Olympics is that these medals are breaking, that they're coming off their ribbons.
So
The medals are thick.
somebody didn't get a good quality medal. Yeah. With
Well,
the ribbon,
I
they're
think
not
it's
fast enough. Yeah.
the metal is thick. It's the way it's fastened is not good. And like I said, a couple of Americans have had their ribbons come off the metal itself. So they're holding the metal like this rather than, holding it up like that. They don't make medals like this anymore. So I pull out my,
nice.
where you got the good fastener right there. You got to have that good fastener. And this is my my arm wrestling one, where I wasn't arm wrestling. This is for the, for disabled arm wrestling. So I actually sponsored one of my, my buddy who wound up winning a gold.
Nice.
And they gave me a bronze. So, and that was in Poland.
So,
that
Joe,
was in Rumia,
man.
Poland.
Oh, it was in Poland? Nice.
Yeah. So I have been to Poland. And I tell you, Poland is beautiful. It is a beautiful spot up there. And we were up by I guess I'm going to say it's the North Sea, or it could be the Red
Okay.
Sea.
Yeah.
I don't even know which sea it is up that way.
I don't think it's no. I think you had it right the first time. I think it's the North Sea. Yeah.
And it was like the water was like calm as glass and a very colorful area. It's just it's so beautiful, and you never think about going to Poland. Like it's just like what's Poland? You know what I mean? But and Poland's been through a lot, so it's interesting how they do certain things.
I've been to Poland one time in my life, and that was when the military. We went over there for a maneuvers, and the only thing I saw about Poland was I saw the forest, Pags, and it's cold, like it's cold in Poland. But it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, I mean the food is amazing. Like it's so inexpensive over there. Like it's just and I was there for arm wrestling.
Right.
So it was a whole different experience. They had what was called the Zloty tour, which Zloty is their dollar.
Right.
So so this was the the professional tournament. And I got to witness all of that as a as an American, which was amazing, and we got to win a couple of golds over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I met the Polish president. He was pretty cool. When we did maneuvers. And they're nice people. If the other people that I've met in Poland, they're very super nice. That I've met, they're very nice people.
I will tell you, Joe, that you would have a hard time against me, especially like let's say if there was different qualifiers in that. Like, is it what kind of spaghetti is it? Is it angel hair? Is it linguine? Because I tell you, I can eat a lot of pasta, and you throw some clams in there, and I'm eating it quick, and I could eat 2 pounds, 3 pounds at a time. I mean, I can gorge myself on that stuff. If they make that sauce right, it's so you would have a hard time, Joe. You wouldn't just be a quick win for you on that. I am Paisan, remember.
How you gonna do with the meatball? I need a lot of meatballs.
There you go. Angel hair spaghetti. You throw some clams in that, and I tell you, you're going to have a competition on your hands. Because I could eat. Hey, listen, in my house, if you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat at all. So you had to. Well, there was definitely, I'm the skinniest of my family because I was a talker. You can't do that in my house if you want to eat. And when it came to spaghetti and clams, I could eat them like a champ. I love aioli. They don't even make it right over here in the United States. You got to go over there. Bolognese, bolognese around in America is not the same as over in Italy. Bolognese means with pork. You know what I mean? They put bacon in that stuff. Yum.
I said, these damn Americans, they don't know how to make no damn good spaghetti.
I make my own spaghetti and clams, and I tell you, when I make it, it's like, I throw in more clams than you really need.
I'll be honest
I
with you,
get
I
the
don't think
whole.
I've ever. Now, are you talking about an actual clam, or are you talking about the clam shells?
No, regular clams. Like I don't like pulling apart the clams.
Yeah.
So I know that there's some restaurants do that. That's the thing. I want it all in there. I want them chopped. I don't want them minced. And I want like whole clams too. So I get the baby whole clams and I get the chopped clams and I get like more than I need. And I keep throwing it in there. And so it's like, and clams are expensive now. It used to be like it was like $1.50 a can. Now it's like $2.50 a can. And that's the Walmart price. You know what I mean? So it's
I don't think
I
I
go
have never had clams. I've never had clams in my spaghetti or even in pasta. I've never had that. So I guess I might have to try that out.
Yeah, so that I love if I go to an Italian restaurant, I like to get the frutti di mare, which is a spicy you know fish of the sea, or that's what it is. It's like clam, scallops, shrimp, sometimes lobster, stuff like that. All mussels, all in the mix, all a little spicy in an angel hair pasta. I could do that all day long. Exactly. Mussels are good too.
I'm kind of a bow tie pasta. Tony Soprano. Mafia. Hey, we don't talk about the mafia, Robert. That's that's hush hush. You don't talk about it. Now is your sauce a thick sauce or is it a thinner sauce?
I like a thinner sauce with the clams because I want the clams to have the flavor in there. I don't want to. Um, let's try this. Okay. Sorry, I'm playing with some of the settings. We'll see if this makes a difference.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
But I like my sauce a little on the thinner side, so I will only use puree when that is. I won't add any paste to it. Like when I have regular spaghetti, when it's like spaghetti and meatballs, I want it thicker, so then I will add the paste. But I don't just get cans of sauce. Ones that say tomato sauce, tomato puree, and then you add tomato paste, the smaller cans of paste, and you throw that in the mix. Yum. So
now, what does he mean by is it sauce or is it gravy? Like, what do you mean by gravy? I've never heard that term
gravy.
before.
So this is one of these things that has changed when we had the changing over into the new universe. You know what I mean? Because it used to be that it was gravy. You would call it gravy because gravy is sauce from meat. So that if you were making a tomato sauce, I would cook my tomato sauce in with the meatballs, the sausage, the pork ribs. You know what I mean? And you throw it all in there and it cooks in the sauce. So it creates, you get the juices of the meat put in the sauce, and then it becomes a gravy. So that's where I get. Of course. Yes, that is 100%. That is so. I don't do veal as much. I don't get the ground veal as much as I'd like to. But I definitely have pork, and it's definitely meatballs, sausage, pork. You got to have it all in there. It's like but you cook it after you get it semi cooked. You brown it and stuff like that. You have the rest of it cook in the sauce on a slow burn for about 3-4 hours. Once you have that, you have the juices from the meat that is incorporated into the sauce, which makes it a gravy.
Nice. Yeah, I like a good veal though. You give like a
Uh,
veal marsala? Oh heck yeah, man.
100%. Yeah, I love
Oh,
veal. Yeah, I could do veal all the time, but I don't get, the stores around here don't have very good ground veal. So if I have to get veal, I have to go to like a butcher for the most part.
yeah.
They just don't have it. They don't have it as easily accessible. Now I have literally an Italian deli that's 2 doors down from me, that I could get all of that stuff. But like when I'm doing that stuff, I'm getting gavadils or gnocchis, things like that. Like I get the true
Right.
Italian stuff from them. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you give
That's
me
what
a
I
good
want.
gnocchi. Oh man. I had the opportunity to have gnocchi one time and it was delicious. I mean, it was so good. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Well, and,
That
and
and a
with the
good
gnocchi,
piccata. You
depending
give
on
me
the
a good
gnocchi,
piccata. Yeah.
the gnocchi is good. I'm big on the gavadils. Gavadils is also,
Yeah.
real good. I love them. It's like, and I love pasta gavadils, but I like potato gnocchi.
Oh
I don't like
man.
the pasta gnocchis because they are a little too thick. You know what I mean? It doesn't cook as well. So
I've never had potato in the gnocchi. I've had the pasta version. I've never had the potato version
good to
though.
see you, Owen.
Go birds.
Don't
Oh, you
say
can't see it
gravy in
from his
front
mouth.
of. I could understand, and that's another thing you don't do. You don't break the spaghetti. Do not
Yeah,
break the spaghetti. Ever, never. That's a big no on the spaghetti. You don't do it.
yeah. Now, why is that though? Why would you not want to break it? Did it do something to the taste or the texture? What's going on with the breaking of the pot? Or do you just like it long?
Well, I like mine long. I don't have a problem if you break it. It's not as big a deal to me. But it's like and if you're Italian and you break the spaghetti, it's like breaking your heart.
Ah, okay. So it's disrespectful to break it, basically.
That's kind of it. It's like
Okay.
there was a whole thing on Instagram about women breaking the spaghetti to it in front of Italian men, and they're like, oh, and they would throw it out like, no, no good, no bueno.
No, yeah, Robert, it's not that we don't have Italian food here. It's just we don't have. I don't think we had the true authentic. At least not where I live. We don't have the true authentic. I'm sure there's some places in downtown that you can get authentic Italian. But if you talk like to the average people that make it, like my mom or my aunts or my friends, we just make your generic spaghetti and meatball. But we're not doing anything crazy over here. You know what I mean?
Olive Garden, you are correct. Is definitely not Italian. It is
What? Who
not
said
Italian at
that?
all.
Who said that? Who said what? What?
Robert says, "Oh, and the Olive Garden is not Italian." You are
What's that?
correct. That is not Italian.
What's the other one? Is Carrabba's? Is Carrabba's Italian or is that fake Italian?
Uh, Carrabba's is better
Right.
than Olive Garden, but I wouldn't necessarily call it Italian. Um, it's like Carrabba's is better known for brick oven pizza, isn't it? That's really
Yeah.
what
No,
they're
you can
known
get
for.
good pizza there. Yeah. And you can see
So,
them cooking
I,
the food. Like they have the nice little, I guess you can kind of see them making the food behind there. Yeah. It's not bad. Now we do got some fine dining though places, Pags, that you could get really good Italian food, right? But again, you're gonna pay a little bit of money for that. So if you want to get the real Italian, you got to pay for that.
listen. Any good restaurant right now, you're going to pay for.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. It's like
Right.
there's no, there's some hole in the wall restaurants that have some, you know, like, hey, they came from the home country that started a restaurant there and back in like your area, and they have like great food, and they may not have their prices as high as some of these corporate settings and such like that. But in the most parts, you're going to pay now for good food. Good food costs money, as it should. You know, it's I like. And listen, not every place, like when you're going up the Amalfi Coast, they have these little restaurants that have like 6 tables. And that's all it is. It's like 6 2-tops or 4-tops or whatever. And it's somebody's house. That's what it is. It's somebody's house that if you stop in, you can eat their home cooking, because that's what they're doing. They're like, oh yeah, it's you don't understand a word that they're saying, because I don't speak Italian even in the slightest bit. and and it's all you just eating, and it is so delicious, and it doesn't cost much of anything. You know, it's like very inexpensive to do that. But you can't do that here in America. Everything costs. I mean, just to import anything here, you get the tariffs on it. So it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Now, Pags, I'm going to go back for a second. So in your family
There you go. Hold on. Joe's got Austin, Texas. Whenever we're in Austin, I tell you what, Joe, when I go to Austin, I'm going to look him up.
Oh, Joe, hey,
I'm
can you put the name of that restaurant in the comments? I'd like to go there too.
Austin's a little bit closer to him than me.
Yeah.
And I've got a buddy that lives in Austin.
Hours. Okay.
There we go. Here we go. Is he on the road? There he is. Bo is sitting in traffic.
Are you going hunting? What kind of jacket is that you got on there?
It's just a jacket from Costco. Like it's cold out.
That looks like almost like a hunting jacket, like you're ready to go hunting.
I mean, I suppose you could use it for that for sure.
So, Bo, you are headed right to. You're headed right to the award ceremony, and then the parade's going to start from the award ceremony. Correct?
Yeah. So we're headed to Lumen Field now, and so the award ceremony is at 10, and then the doors open at 9:30. The award ceremony is at 10, and then the parade starts at 11. So it's sort of but there's going to be over 1 million people downtown, so obviously getting there is going to be the real task.
Finding a parking spot's going to be the hard task.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm going to drive to Rob's, and then we're going to run up to the light rail, and we're going to take the light rail into town. We're not going to try and park downtown because that doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I was going to say either do the light rail or do Uber. Either one of those will probably get you where you got to do.
Oh, Uber would be so expensive right now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everybody their mother's going to be. Yeah, you're right. They're probably going to jack up the prices.
Yeah, it's that surge pricing.
Gino's restaurant, huh?
Gino's restaurant, not to be confused with Gino's fast food.
I'm gonna go there too.
And Mom says Mom's very happy that you made it.
Well, I haven't made it yet.
No, that you made it onto the show. That you made it onto the show.
Oh, okay. So, I was going to say let's curb expectations.
What has been the feeling in Seattle since this win? Like, it's obviously it's your second Super Bowl. It's always a little bit different than the first Super Bowl, and it's so the feeling might be a little less than it was before, but you got to feel that you've got some retribution that you were able to get on the Patriots from 11 years ago. What's the overall feeling?
That's a key component of it, right? Is because that second Super Bowl, or of the back-to-back third Super Bowl overall, but that one left such a bad taste in your mouth that this one it really gives you a similar feeling to the first one. Nothing beats the first one, right? Because you've never been there, you've never won it before, and so there's nothing that's gonna quite compete with that. But if there was one to get you close, it's this one because it was the Patriots. Now, that being said, that being said, they are wildly different teams and everything. And I actually have a graphic for tomorrow to illustrate how close the two defenses were in the two championship years.
Nice.
Now, interestingly enough, there's a thing that's going around right now that I figure since I mentioned it, you'll be able to find this tomorrow. They ranked the 60 Super Bowls and the winners. And of course, because yours was the 60th, I think they have the Seattle Seahawks as them winning as number 4 on the list. Last year's Eagles were like 40th. And I'm like, it's so ridiculous. Whoever makes these lists, I'm going to make a list of how I rank the 60 Super Bowls, and I'm going to put it as it's for real, rather than somebody who's from Dallas who decided to put all the Dallas ones.
It was a Dallas. Okay.
Hey, whoa. Let's stop the Dallas hate, okay? A little bit of hate now.
There's some bias. There's a little bias. So that might send Philly down the list a little bit. So I can see that. In fact, if Aikman was involved, Seattle's wouldn't even be on the list because that dude hates Seattle like nothing else. But yeah, I would be curious to see the list though. If you have the link, send it to me in the chat later. Because I'd be curious to see where some of these things fall. Because I think that'll be those lists are usually laughable.
So I am going to create my own list, and I'm going to use a couple of different AIs. I want AI to tell me them to rank the Super Bowls as they did it, and that's probably what happened here. Somebody said, "Hey, listen, analyze all of the Super Bowls and put them in order of." What would be considered the best Super Bowl and considered the worst to the worst. I mean, obviously, the 55-10 Super Bowl is not a good Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl that we lost, 35-33, you know what I mean? Or 37-35 is got to be one of the top ones. You know what I mean? I would think. You know what I mean? And we didn't even win that one. So just because of,
I agree with you there. I think obviously our 43-8 against Denver. It was awesome if you were a Seahawks fan, but it wasn't a good Super Bowl. That next year, even though we lost to the Patriots, was a fantastic game.
Right, because it goes down to the very last second, and it's like you think about Buffalo's 19-17 loss. And the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? So that would have to be highly ranked because that went to a missed kick to win the Super Bowl. The Titans losing on the 1 yard line to the Rams. That has to be a great Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Those are the Super Bowls that I think of that are when there's a lot of scoring. That's why I put that Kansas City Eagles Super Bowl really high up because it was a lot of scoring. Came down to the last minute. They wound up winning the game in with 40 seconds left to go, and we're not able to. We're out of timeouts. We didn't have anything that we could be able to do, and we end. It ends with a knock it down. You know what I mean? So you could talk about even the Brady, the first one we won. Good.
Well, and there's also the what's an underrated one, but it was such a crazy game, was the Harbaugh Bowl, right? Yeah. Because it was an absolute domination in the first half. Then the power goes out, and then the other team wakes up, and it ends up being a really close game.
Correct.
But why is it that defensive?
Oh, did I lose signal there?
Yeah. Why is it that defensive Super Bowls aren't as popular as offensive Super Bowls? You know what I mean? Because it's hard to play that strong of defense. I mean, but it doesn't get that much credit.
So, because of what we saw in the first 3 quarters, so like ultimately, and this happened the last time the Eagles won the first Super Bowl. The next Super Bowl that happened, nobody scored in the first 3 quarters. The game ends 13-3. That's not a fun game to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's boring, boring, boring. Here, this was a little bit more exciting because you did have some sacks and such like that. But ultimately, the fact that there was no scoring in the first 3 quarters, that all you're getting is field goals, stinks. Nobody wants to see that.
Right.
They want to see touchdowns. They want to see bigger plays.
Right. What do you
Those are
think
the
is
tunnel
better,
right
though?
now. So
Yeah. What do you think is better? Would you rather see like a slugfest, or would you rather see a well-balanced game that's competitive on both sides of the ball for both teams?
So, it's funny that you put it like that because, so losing the Super Bowl in Arizona to the Chiefs 3 years ago, where it went back and forth, was good to watch. The first Super Bowl that we won against the Patriots and Tom Brady getting 500 yards in that game was great to watch because at one point the Patriots had the lead in that game. And there was never a doubt that we were going to get that lead back. I thought that we were going to win that game. And and even though everybody was thinking the same thing, like, oh my Lord, it's like he's going to catch that Hail Mary. I thought there was no doubt in my mind that even if he caught that Hail Mary, they weren't going to make the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And that's how we were going to win the game. Now, that had been awesome to watch, too. The stop 2-point conversion at the 0 marks to win a Super Bowl would be awesome.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree. I guess for me, I like the more well-balanced Super Bowls. Like if you got two competitive teams that are playing, really good. But I also think the slugfest, like you said, are a lot of fun, right? Because you get to see, okay, we just saw a nice bomb, Hail Mary, whatever, and then you get another one, and this is like back and forth. I do appreciate that, right? It's a lot of fun. It's exciting to watch.
Right. I mean, it's fun to watch when you're killing the other team too. Like obviously, 40-6. At 40-6, it was like it was exciting. It's like, hey, it's the Eagles are spanking them, and everybody was happy to watch the Chiefs get spanked because nobody, everybody was like, hey, they're going to win their third Super Bowl in a row. That was not to be, and that was known from the very beginning of the game. Like when I think about that. The difference between the Patriots offense and the Chiefs offense in the first half was a difference of 23 yards.
Right.
I think it was because they had 51 yards to the Chiefs 28.
Right.
28 yards in the first half.
Right.
They didn't get across the 50 until well into the third quarter.
Right. Well, even in this game here, Drake May only had like 56 yards going into halftime. I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, and Drake May has got he's learned a lot. And I think Vrabel learned a lot.
I mean, he had what, 31 first timers making it to the Super Bowl. I mean, they got a lot of experience now. Even though they didn't get the win, they got a lot of experience on that team now.
It was 30 people was first year on the Patriots.
Right.
He did have some playoff experience there. It's not all that, hey, this is only this and this and this, but
right.
Yeah, they weren't all rookies. It was just first year with the team.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are y'all expecting next year? I mean, I know a lot of people, or at least I saw a couple of graphics that said that the New England wasn't even going to make the playoffs, and they were attributing it to their schedule that they were going to be playing. But what do y'all think? Do you think the Patriots make it back?
That's ridiculous to think that they're somehow going to be a terrible team next year. They have some of the most cap space in the league. They have 11
Right.
draft picks. I mean, and a division that fired their coach. So I mean, let's not pretend that they're going to be like a terrible team. Are they going to be as good as they were this year? No, they're going to have a much tougher schedule. But I mean, they're still going to be a playoff team.
And the one thing that I say, like, it's not like the Patriots have been going and lost the Super Bowl, because they jumped ahead. They took like 3 steps ahead. I do think they take 2 steps back, but 2 steps back means you get to the playoffs and lose.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think that might be like, once you get to the playoffs, anything could happen. And because you went to the Super Bowl last year, you remember, and it becomes a thing. You go up against Buffalo, where Buffalo has got everything up, like they got the huge weight on their shoulders, and they got to win this game just because they got to make it to the Super Bowl. You have an advantage against them because you were just in the Super Bowl. You get the mind games that you could play with the guys on the field. Be like, hey, you guys are going to come up short again. You start putting that mindset in their head, and all of a sudden they start thinking it.
Right. No, very much so. I agree with that 100%, that the mindset, you can really mess with somebody's mindset, especially when Josh Allen has gone up against Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Now he went up against Drake May, and he still can't get the job done. So now if I'm Josh Allen, I'm about to think like, damn, I'm never going to get there. No matter who they put in front of me, I'm still coming up short every damn time.
Well, and the real question there is going to be, does elevating that OC make the difference? I don't see how it will, but I mean, that's got to be the question. There's got to be some problems there with the Bills that is a problem, because when you have other coaches that were supposed to interview for that job pull out and take OC job instead, there's a problem.
Yeah. I'm surprised to see, like, when you look at all of the odds to win the Super Bowl next year, that you don't see Denver up there. You don't see New England really up there. You see Buffalo. You see Baltimore in the mix. But you do not see Denver. You don't see San Diego. You don't see San Diego, but LA. You don't see those teams, and these guys have good teams that are going to have, like, you think of the Chargers, if they had a whole fully healthy defense, they may have made more of a splash than they did. Yeah.
No, 100.
The 49ers, the 49ers are going to have a little bit of a hard time. I think that depends on who they get in their draft. I think they're going to have to go heavy for a tight end, somebody who could replace Kittle. And if they could use that, if he could find that relief valve, I mean, because they're going to lose Ayuk, obviously. He's going to wind up somewhere
They
else.
never had him anyway.
Yeah, but it's like, obviously, it's like that's, but they're going to get some compensation, is kind of what I'm getting to that. Like, they're going to get somebody back for that.
Right.
I think that
I think for them, it's going to be whether or not Bosa and Warner can stay healthy next time, because the lack of pass rush was a real problem. And then, the other question is CMC, similar to Joe Burrow, tends to be hurt every other year. He was healthy this last year. So then the question becomes, can CMC stay healthy 2 years in a row? If they stay healthy, that's a very good team still.
Yeah.
And is Trent Williams going to be able to play? Like that, I mean, that's, again, you have the best offensive tackle in the game, even at his age, that even when he's at 80%, he is still better than most of his counterparts in the league. That, is he going to retire? Is he going to play another year? You know, the one thing that went unnoticed here is that isn't Jason Peters the offensive line coach for Seattle?
Actually, I don't remember who our line coach is up in.
I think it is Jason Peters. I know that he made it, like he finished with Seattle and then remained on the staff there.
I got you.
So if he's not, he's like probably the assistant line coach. And congratulations to him. Obviously,
Yeah.
that would be his second ring because he won one with the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. I want to kind of talk about the Raiders, if I can, just for a second. I saw where Kubiak was saying that he would love for Max Crosby to stay with the team and build and go to the Super Bowl. But do you guys really think that's the best thing for the Raiders? Because I'm thinking, like, if I'm Max Crosby, do I really want to try to be part of this organization where it's going to take them a little while to get back to the playoffs? And do I want to waste that many years? If I'm him, number one, I probably want to go to a contender at some level. And then number two, if I'm the Raiders, would you want to try to get as many draft picks to surround Mendoza if that really is your quarterback of the future?
So, a couple of things there. Yeah, I mean, if you want to trade them, obviously you would get the draft picks. They have draft picks anyway. They also have an insane amount of cap space. So, I mean, they have things they can do anyway. But Max Crosby did go on the herd and kind of dispel the rumors that he's trying to get out of there, wanted out. He just said that at this stage in his career that he just doesn't respond to any of it. So he just lets people run whatever story they want. But that he's not trying to force his way out. He's just trying to be the best player he can there. And so it doesn't sound like there's pressure from Crosby to get out of there. Now, if they move him for draft picks, hey, fair enough. But it doesn't sound like the pressure's coming from his side if it did happen.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Pags? If you were Max Crosby, would you want to stay there or would you want to try to compete for a ring now?
I look at Max Crosby very similar to the way I look at Myles Garrett. Money's going to talk. You could change anybody's mind with money.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
That's a real statement, I think. So I think that if you're bringing somebody in who's going to try to change the culture, because I think that was the problem. Max is a winner. He wants to be a winner. If you are going there, if you are there and you think you're going to lose, which is what everybody thought in Vegas, I think that weighs on you if you are a competitor and a winner. And that's why, hey, we don't want you to play. That means you don't want to win, and that means I don't want to be here. That's how that thought process goes. And I feel that having a new coach and trying to have a new mental attitude about things will change the way that is. And then also put some money in my pocket. I'm miserable. Make me better paid to make me happy. And guess what? I'll put a smile on my face. Make it so that we actually play to win, that we play to win and not play to lose, not try to get a better draft pick, not keep me out of the game because I want to play. That's the thing I think is the biggest difference.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that new head coaches, they come to rejuvenate your want to see with the team. You're like, okay, they're getting culture that's going to be coming here. And how I know that is I literally just won the whole thing. So, I mean, if you're Crosby, you've got that encouragement. And then, of course, you look at that division, you have Casey that's kind of aging out, right? You have Denver that's going to have to, by the time these guys are ready to go, this is probably going to be a couple of years to get this thing fully turned around, you're going to have Denver having to pay people. And the Chargers are the Chargers. You just don't really know what's going to happen there. So, I mean, in the next 2 years, if this rebuild really solidifies, they're going to be a team that's fighting for that division based on where the rest of the division is headed.
No. Okay.
So he's a winner because he wants to win, not because he's on a team that loses.
Yeah.
He wants to win. That's what makes him the winner. And
No,
and yeah, I mean, he's a top 5 guy, but he literally got triple teamed. They have nobody else on that defensive line who was worth anything. And that's why he'd get double and triple teamed. And that was all you needed to protect against. So it's like, I get it. Now, I understand you got Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett had other guys that were on that defensive line that you had to consider and think of. He's got nobody else on his defensive line at all.
Right.
Now, that may change as of next year. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of differences that occur, because now they got a new coach and a new attitude. And you got Tom Brady, who also doesn't like to lose. So there's lots of different things going on. I heard they may even bring in a new barber for what's his face, so that he can get a real haircut. You know what I mean? It's like
that is never going to happen. That is never going to happen.
I don't understand how you have so much damn money, but it looks like you cut your own hair. Like I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's weird.
Hey,
Weird.
some people like the bowl haircut. I can't speak intelligently about that.
But even if you were going to do a bowl haircut, at least make the line straight. It's like jagged. Like it's like he's got shears or something when he cuts his hair.
Yeah. At least do it well. No, I'm with you.
Exactly. So, all right, well, that brings us to the top of the hour. Bo, stay safe out there today. Enjoy the parade. Frankie said that he was hoping that it rains, but it looks like it's just cold and sunny. So I figure you guys will be able to get off without a hitch. And Frankie, that's tough for you. So,
be safe out there, Bo.
But we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Subscribe to us all. It just helps us get bigger reach so that you'll be able to see us the next time. And until tomorrow, go Birds.
Go Cowboys.